Is Jordan Pickford taking the goal kick?
He played out to Maguire there.
That's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who actually takes someone on.
He's crossed it into Kane here,
Kane has fallen over again.
but it's led Saka on the right. He's got the ball.
Saka puts the ball in.
And there's Ben Mee arriving at the back post.
Scorpion kick!
Ben Mee has fucking scored.
Ben Mee. Hello. Sorry, I needed to get everyone's energy
I
going.
need to wake them up. So
Yes, it's an early morning today. Welcome to the Bottle Job Podcast. My name is Rimedi.
I'm Toby.
And usually throughout this podcast, we've been dissecting every single group from A to H. What group are we doing today?
We're doing F.
I actually didn't know, so I asked you. I just know
Okay.
the teams. So we have different mechanics on the show, such as 99 Potential, where we take you through a story of a kid going from an amateur to a GOAT at this World Cup.
We've got 20-second vision where we try and predict the future as best we possibly can.
In under 20 seconds.
Yeah, in the 20 seconds.
Yeah. And we also have Avit, the section of the podcast where we have a controversial take. Man, our controversial takes on TikTok have been doing very well.
Good. Well, yeah, we had
Yeah.
the total one last week as well.
Oh,
Although
right.
it wasn't in the section, but
Yeah, we need to see that on TikTok. Editors, get to work.
yeah. It's a
But-
special day today, isn't it?
Yeah, we have... This
We've
podcast
got-
is going to be a bit like jumbled up.
Yeah, but we've started with a bang. We've got our first guest today, and it's a big one. You know, we talk about the World Cup a lot. We've got a World Cup winner, so stay tuned for that, obviously.
Absolutely. But I think we should just start off quickly. Belgium.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting any food. We usually do have a bit of food.
Exactly.
Not having any breakfast, but we got a group of breakfasts. We got our Belgian waffles, and we got a bit of
That was-
maple syrup.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, we got Canada. We got
very
we got
good.
Belgium. We got Croatia,
And
and
we've got Morocco.
lastly Morocco.
Yes. So if we start on Belgium, the world number 2. You know, I think Belgium, the thing is with them, they're like...
Frauds. They're not a number. They're always high up, and they never do anything, do they?
I like to call them flat track bullies. They're the team. They will beat every single team. When they come against a big team, that's when the problems happen. Even looking at their record in the past year, they've beaten every single team. But the one big team that they faced in the Netherlands, they've lost twice. So I just feel that, yeah, Belgium are the flat track bullies. But I think when it comes to their team, I think it's a lot of like last World Cup, like last of a generation. And it's sad because Belgium had that so-called golden generation.
They should have won something. And I blame the manager, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Roberto Martinez. I
think so.
I never understood how he got that job, if I'm honest. I really didn't.
Who's the manager before? I think his name is Mark Wilmot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct, yeah. But a prime Eden Hazard. You had De Bruyne, Lukaku getting on the end of things, and the Spurs partnership with Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld, who are still there, still playing.
Somehow.
I mean, you might as well just keep playing company at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what it is. Like, do you know, like, do they just keep players playing after like a certain date? Because these guys, are they not producing any more players?
No, well, it just felt like it's so weird, isn't it, for a country as small as Belgium to just suddenly have this influx of talent over the same generation, like so many top players, and it does feel like it's coming to the end of its cycle, and they should have done more. Obviously, they did get third place at the World Cup, beating England in that playoff, but it could have been more. They were a bit unlucky against France in that semi-final. I did think they were one of the best teams at that tournament.
And they
but
did, like, I think they beat Brazil pretty comfortably. Even
Yeah.
though it was a 2-1, they beat Brazil that World Cup. But, like, I remember FIFA 12, so that's 11 years ago. I started playing with Belgium, and I'm like, oh my God, what a team. They've got De Bruyne.
Benteke,
Yeah, they've got such a great team. And now I look at Belgium as De Bruyne and others.
yeah.
I think that's what the team is right now.
Well, Thorgan has it ahead of Eden.
Speaking of Eden, how do you feel about your boy at the moment?
Oh man, it's so sad. I wanted it to work out bad. I wanted him to smash it at Real because I thought he deserved that. Everything he'd given us, and he was unbelievable. I think in that 2018 World Cup he was player of the tournament. I know he didn't win that, but I thought he was so good. These injuries have just absolutely ruined him. Really, he's lost that burst of pace. Doesn't look quite the same player. Obviously, it's allowed Vinicius to flourish. I mean, who knows if Eden hadn't got those injuries, how would he have progressed career-wise? But it's sad. It's sad seeing Eden like this. But I'd still have him back just for a bit of a boost.
Yeah, of course. And, like, you know what's crazy? The player that actually injured him was his Belgian teammate.
Yeah.
Meunier,
yeah.
the right back. But yeah, Belgium, they've never ever produced any left backs. That's something that I found crazy. Like,
Carrasco at wing back sort of thing.
Yeah, or they play Vertonghen at left back, or they played someone or Vermaelen at left back. Yeah, but speaking of that, Vertonghen at left back, Carrasco at left back. They just don't produce any left backs, and I just feel that that's something they've needed for 11 years, and they still have not produced one. But I still think maybe this tournament, it's going to be the tournament where everyone comes together and just say, you know what, let's push this for one more tournament. I don't know though.
Yeah, I'm not sold. As good as De Bruyne is, you could argue best midfielder on the planet at the moment. I mean, the guy's been incredible. He is an incredible player, and the keeper has had some year. I mean, Courtois was excellent in Real Madrid's Champions League run in particular. So that's a big thing. If you've got a keeper on top of his form, you've got a chance, and a midfielder doing what he does in De Bruyne, and maybe if Lukaku is fit, getting on the end of those chances, it could cause problems. Like you said, it's just there's so many players that are very good in that team, but are not at the level that they were. But someone is Tielemans. He's scoring bangers for fun, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's doing really well for Leicester at the moment. I really wanted him at Arsenal, but now that I see like we're doing well, I still think we need someone like him in our team to just control the tempo, dictate the game. But Tielemans, like if you have a free kick or if you have an opportunity,
A volley from 30 yards.
yeah, and he will smack it top bins.
Yeah.
Like I love players like that. You could just rely on them at any second to just produce a piece of magic. But I was just gonna ask you about Lukaku because he was obviously back at your club last year.
Yeah.
Didn't do so well. Came out with an infamous interview saying he prefers to go back. He is back.
Yeah,
So-
he signed big money. I'm home. 3 months later, I want to go back home. And now he's kissing their badge, and then he'll want to go somewhere else. And a bit, it's just boring.
Is it more so a case of Chelsea attackers flopping again, or is it a case of Lukaku coming and like he just didn't want to do anything there? Because like when he came, he looked very lean, he looked very strong.
Mate, we
He
got
looked really good.
He came in, and I was like, we've got this skinny Rom. He looked awesome, and he did fit the system. And we were playing very good football at the time. You know, we weren't scoring loads and loads of goals, but he was the guy to kind of try and change that. And there seemed to be this attitude coming in of, okay, I'm the guy, I score loads of goals. And it was like, well, you are joining the Champions of Europe here. We're in a very good moment. And he didn't adjust well. He stopped trying for me completely. Like he stopped moving. At the start, his movement was great. You know, the Arsenal game, there was a Villa game as well early on. And he was making those runs in behind. He was holding up well. He was turning players. And he just completely gave up. That interview killed him. It just made everyone. He couldn't get anyone else on side basically after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel that, for example, when it comes to Lukaku, I think it's a case of him not managing himself properly because like he'll let his weight fluctuate.
Yeah.
He'll let the outside world do a lot of the talking, and then when he's playing, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder because he feels that he has to prove everyone wrong. But you just have to play your game. And I know we just looked like two idiots speaking on a podcast, speaking to a professional footballer, but I don't know, whenever I watch Lukaku, everything looks good with him when the pressure's not on, when everything's just so easy to him. Like the season before he came to Chelsea, the 2021 season, he was on fire for Inter. He had a great relationship with Lautaro Martinez, who used to be the creative forward, and Lukaku could just wreak havoc running him behind. But yeah, it's just really sad to see Lukaku in the way that he is.
Yeah, for a guy that was on top of his game there, I just don't understand how you maybe do let that slip a bit, because you've learned it under Conte, no catch-up, and it's absolutely dramatically improved your career, because at United, when he did leave, people were laughing a bit. So I can't understand, like you said, slowing down, maybe your diet not being quite as good. You should know that's what produces your best game, and you want to stick at that if you are a top professional.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you're going to say Belgium, do you think they're going to do something in this competition, or do you think they're just going to, like get knocked out earlier on that we expect?
Yeah, do you know what? That actually kind of leads into my Avit.
Wow.
Avit! Like Sunday League left-backs, no room for nonsense, only Marmite.
These are our podcast's most outrageous takes without trying to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Mine was to do with Belgium as well.
Okay,
We
interesting.
might have the same... We might be the first time on the podcast.
We're going to jinx.
All right, we're going to say it in 3, 2, 1. We're just going to say like the overall like...
Okay.
All right. So our Avit section, 3, 2, 1...
They're going to get hammered.
Knocked out.
Yeah, well, I thought in the round of 16, I think they're going to get hammered.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with you.
similar sort of vibe.
Yeah, I think we just like saved another Avit because we're just gonna go off the same one here. Yeah, I don't think Belgium are gonna do well in this tournament.
No, man. I think they'll get out of the group, but then I think they're going to get comfortably beaten by someone, like quite convincingly. Whoever they come up against is quite good. And I do rate Croatia to an extent, but I think they're a bit like Belgium, where some of those players are at the latter ends of their careers. But I think when it comes to around a 16 game, maybe they might squeak past if their draws generous. But I think they will get hammered by a good team.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, the whole flat track bully thing. Belgium, they do not have a good record against the so-called bigger teams. Even in the World Cup last year, or the Euros last year, I must say, against Portugal, they just didn't look like
No.
like they beat them obviously, but then they got into the next round and it was just a bit flat. It was just a bit. So I just feel that, for example, I think Belgium, they're okay. I think they could still a solid quarterfinal team.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just don't think Belgium are going to do anything more than that. I think,
No, I agree with you, man.
yeah, I think it's just become one tournament too late. They don't have as many game changers.
I think
as
it's a
they used to
shame.
have.
It is a real shame because it was some generation. Like, it was a lot of awesome players.
But they do have a couple young players coming through. Like one I could speak about. He's not my 99 potential, but Romeo Lavia. From
Yeah,
Southampton,
yeah, he's
I
smashing
really
it.
like him. He's a
City
defensive,
Youth Academy, wasn't it?
exactly, a defensive midfielder that can control games. He's snappy in challenges. He's like Partey, but I think he's a bit more chilled out on the ball than Partey. And I think Romeo Lavia is going to have a very, very good future. Like Southampton
Yeah, I was
bought
about
him.
to say they bought him in the summer, and apparently on deadline day we were bidding for him after he had a good
That is
performance against us.
crazy. That is
It's
crazy.
unheard of, isn't it? Going in the same window, but
Speaking of a player that Chelsea were bidding for, this actually leads perfectly into my 99 potential.
we have the same 99
have the sa-
potential. Yeah, as you're saying that, I was like, I think we've got the same one. That's jokes.
Hey, we're just saving time today.
On the same wavelength.
All right.
99 potential is our version of FIFA Journeys, but well, good.
The scout section is where we identify young players who've had a rocky road to Qatar, but they will go from kid to GOAT. 3, 2, 1.
Josep Guardiola.
Yes,
Nice.
Josep Guardiola. He's our 99
yeah.
potential.
Well, that shows how much we rate him. Like,
Yeah.
if we've gone with the same guy.
Or we just know each other very well.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
been
this is what's
recording for
happening,
a long
guys.
time now. Yeah. This is funny.
Yeah, that's literally 2 in a row. I wonder if the 20-second vision's going to be...
Yeah, Josep Guardiola, I think he's an unbelievably
Mm.
good centre back. Like Chelsea were linked with him for 90 million this summer.
I hope we keep pursuing it as well.
Yeah,
from what I've
I
seen.
think he's a left-footed centre back, and Chelsea don't have many. They had Levy Colwill.
Yeah, he
was-
played well last night. Seemed like he played well anyway.
How do you know that? Because the game was not shown on TV.
From a lot of Brighton fans' reaction going nuts
Ah,
about him, I was
okay.
like, well, must have done all right.
Yeah, he actually played
Yeah.
well. I was at the game yesterday.
Oh,
and
nice.
I looked at him and I was like, this guy looks so assured. But I think Chelsea are not going to bring him back because, I don't know.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. But Josep Guardiola, Joško Guardiola. No, I think he's a great player. He's a player that plays for Leipzig. He's a player that could very comfortable dribbling on the ball.
Mate, when I watch him, he's so graceful on the ball, so like bringing it forward. We talked last week about Rudiger and comfortable in those left pockets, could play left back, left centre back. Kind of sums up Guardiola, doesn't it? I mean, he's just looks so graceful on the ball, bringing it forward. I mean, there was a goal I saw as well, a little chip he did, just elegant, like really unnatural for a centre back to be that good on it. It's, nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel that like moving forward, this is going to be the centre back mode. You have to be comfortable on the ball. You need to
Good
be
passer.
You actually need to defend as well. There's just so many different avenues to become a top defender these days, and Guardiola is going to be that guy. Like you don't get touted for 90 million.
No, at
at
20
age-
years old, yeah.
if you're not that good. And for Leipzig so far, he's been unbelievable. Like I really want you guys to go and watch him. I think he's that good.
Yeah, I mean, even at the Euros, he was there. He's Croatia's youngest ever player to play in a competitive tournament, so they clearly rate him very highly.
Absolutely. If we touch on Croatia a bit, how do you think they could do? Because you know what? I think they have a good blend between youth and experience. Because look, Modric and Rakitic and these types of players, obviously they're getting on a bit. But if I speak about Guardiola, if I speak about other players in the team,
Brozovic isn't exactly old.
no, Brozovic is
Yeah.
getting on a bit actually.
Is he?
But yeah. But just they have a good mix of players.
Yeah.
And they have a very balanced squad. If I touch on
You've got Sosa, I suppose, on that left as well
yes,
with Guardiola.
Borna
It's a
Sosa.
nice
He could have been
combination.
linked with Man City as well. He's a good player, that a left wing back that bombs up and down. But yeah, do you think? Actually, I want to talk to you about Luka Modric because
Yeah.
he's a player that's won the Ballon d'Or. He's a player that has a lot of recognition to his name. Do you put him in that level of Xavi?
I do. I have him in that conversation. Whether you put him, I think you could justifiably put him below those players, but I think he's in that bracket now. It's undoubted. It's weird because at Spurs, I thought he was really good. And I remember we were linked with him. He had a chat on Roman's yacht, supposedly. I mean, he himself said that. But I never saw him quite on that level. And as he's gone to Real Madrid and progressed, he's just a phenomenal player. Obviously, some people dispute that Ballon d'Or, and that's understandable. But
I think Messi should have won that year. But I think Messi
yeah,
was good.
I'm with you, man. But he has been fantastic for Real for years now. Consistently, he's got that Trivela on lock, which is a key phrase. And yeah, he's just immaculate.
Yeah, Luka Modric, like where everybody saw his qualities was in the Champions League last year. Luka Modric was that guy. I think it was especially in the PSG game because he was the catalyst behind everything changing for them. PSG were dominating Real Madrid. I think, over that tie, so it's 180 minutes, PSG dominated.
Real turn up for the last 30.
PSG dominated for 160.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And Real Madrid, they're a team of moments, and Luka Modric stepped up for his big moment. He dribbled past a couple players, gave it to Benzema to score. And that's when everybody saw Luka Modric at what he is. That Trivela for Rodrigo's
Yeah,
goal
I mean,
against
we
you
were
guys.
battering them, and then he just sort of did that out of nothing. An absolutely phenomenal pass. One of the best assists you'll see, especially on the run, to be doing that.
Exactly, and you don't find many players that will turn up in big moments and like that. And Luka Modric, it's good that he's getting his flowers now because 10 years ago at Real Madrid, he was voted as the worst ever.
Yeah, isn't that mad to win worst ever signing and then go on to have the career you've had at that club? They must look at that and think, got that a little bit wrong.
What do we know as fans? We
Yeah.
know nothing compared to the board and the management. But yeah, touching on other players, we have players like Rakitic.
Rakitic, yeah, getting on a bit as well, like you said. But yeah, Kovacic, who I really
Yes.
like as a player, brings it
To
forward
be fair,
brilliantly.
this season he's been
Yeah,
in
he
and out
struggled
of
with
the team.
struggled with his injuries, to be honest. Like, he should start when he's fit, but he's not really been 100% fit throughout. But when he is a very good player.
I was hearing a lot of rumors saying that there's a lot of division within the Chelsea team. Like when Xhaka and
surprise me.
Kovacic were fighting each other, no one came to back Kovacic and no one came to support him. And I just feel that Chelsea is just not conducive to players doing well at the moment. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's getting a bit toxic. It's not.
very
Yes, it's
toxic.
not nice. It's quite sad watching my club at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah.
I want to give you more stick because we beat you on the weekend, but I can't.
Yeah, oh mate, that was just a sad performance. It's just embarrassing.
I know. But actually, we are going to be interrupted at this moment because we are going to be interviewing Emmanuel Petit. Here we go.
Legend of the game.
Hi guys,
Hello.
Hello.
how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah,
all
good,
Thank you
thanks.
very much.
Can you see me because the angle is not good enough?
No, we
Yeah,
can
all
see
good.
Yeah, you can see me.
you.
Okay,
Yes.
So welcome to the Bottle Job Podcast, Emmanuel. Lovely to meet
Good,
you.
guys. Thank you.
So we're coming close to the World Cup, and obviously you as a World Cup winner, how do you feel coming into this World Cup? I know there's a lot of people talking about stuff going on, but I think we're very excited for it. So we just wanted your thoughts as well.
I am exciting as well. I try to put away, every polemics, surrounding the World Cup. It's a strange and weird World Cup's coming because it's the first time we have this competition in the mid-season. So this is the first time in the football history. So this is something very new. There is no preparation for the players and for the manager as well. So you have to go straight to the World Cup and be ready for it. So I'm not going to talk about politics, things like this, because this is not the purpose. But I'm excited because I know what the World Cup means for me, in terms of from a player, but as well in terms of a human being. It changed my life forever. So, as I've got the trophy right behind me. So this is the only thing that reminds me my former career.
Lovely.
Yeah, we were just gonna ask you, Emmanuel Petit, you have scored in the World Cup final in 1998,
Yeah.
your home country. What was that like? Because I know they were in the finals. I think Marcel
He's moved to
Desailly,
centre back.
he got sent off,
Yeah.
and then you
The
scored.
last 25 minutes, I play in the central defense, and I was marking Ronaldo. So playing, the fact playing a World Cup, this is something already very hard, to achieve, when you're a football player, because you get one or two opportunities, during your career to play World Cup. So this is the first thing, and the second thing, playing a World Cup at home in front of my own fans, my family and friends. I felt privileged, and obviously scoring a goal during the World Cup final. I'm not supposed to score a goal. I'm supposed to give assist, to the guy who's going to score a goal. So always ask myself, why me? But I did it. So for me, everything that happened in 1998 is the best thing that can happen to a football player. if you ask a player, what is your most fabulous dream you've ever had, that would be probably playing a World Cup at home and playing the final against Brazil. This is the dream, playing against Brazil in a final and scoring a goal. So I cannot imagine something better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had some year in '98, obviously, with Arsenal too, winning the double.
Yeah.
So couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And the fight, Patrick gave me the ball and gave me the assist, and I scored a goal. And that was 3 weeks, a month after we won the double with Arsenal. And
so obviously, after scoring in that World Cup final, I'm guessing the 24 hours after it. How were that? How did it? What
24 hours.
Well, 24 days.
24 years. People always stop me in the street everywhere I go. I suppose the same with my teammates. Everywhere we go in France, even outside France, people stop us all the time, and this is something we feel privileged, because normally when you win games or competition, you talk to your own fans, but you don't talk to other fans, other countries. And this is exactly what happened. And I think the image we sent, if you put away what we've done on the pitch and you only focus on the image we've sent, I think people like the image we've sent. We were a bunch of friends all together, a mix of people, coming from different backgrounds, and we were representing very much France, back in days now. And this is something we are very proud of it, because this is beyond football.
Yeah, for sure. So in our podcast, we like to speak about the different World Cup groups and the different mechanics of everything, the way the World Cup works. So in terms of your teams that you're looking at to do really well in this competition, who do you have your eye on this tournament?
Argentina, Brazil, teams like this will want to do something, because it's been for the last 20 years. No Brazil, no Argentina, nothing at all. And no Asian team, no African team, only Europe teams has won the World Cup. So there is a feeling of revenge somewhere. And because this World Cup is weird, everything can happen, Of course, there is different countries that can be able to win the World Cup. But if I take, for example, France, we have a chance to win the World Cup. But we have so many injured players. And I don't know if you follow Deschamps conference press yesterday. He said he's going to change his system tactically. He's not going to play with 3 defenders anymore, but 4, because there is no Kanté and Pogba anymore in the middle. So he has to change the system all of a sudden, like this, right before the World Cup.
Yeah, we were just gonna say, like, taking a step back. I think we have to speak more so about the campaign in general, in terms of like fear of missing scores. So if I speak about one of my ways of trying to watch a game, sometimes when I'm at work, I'm trying to like maybe sneak on my phone.
Of course.
Yeah, and I like,
go on. Every time I'm commentating a game on the French TV, last time it happened was almost 2 weeks ago, when I did the game away, Paris Saint-Germain to Juventus. And because there is a camera filming us while we are commentating the game, so we are focused on the game. We don't look at the cameras. But I don't know how many times I have to watch on my mobile the other results, especially the Benfica results when they were playing against Maccabi Haifa in Israel. And all of a sudden I thought to myself, Manu, hold on. You are commentating the game. People are listening to you live on TV. And then there's a camera filming you. And you're not there anymore. You're just watching your mobile because you want to know what is the score exactly, because that was very important for Paris Saint-Germain to finish first or second. So I couldn't keep my eye away from my mobile. Every 5 minutes, I was touching my mobile. Yeah, I became crazy because I was not concentrating anymore on the game. And I'm thinking, Manu, you have a job to do. Stop it. And I can hear the voice in my head, Manu, stop it. You have to focus. But I couldn't do that. I need to know what's going on the other game. It's ridiculous when you think about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people this year, because the World Cup is going to be playing at times where people are at work.
Yeah, 10 o'clock in the
It's,
morning.
yeah, it's going to be some crazy times. But for you, Emmanuel Petit, we have something very special. We're going to be introducing a very new section of the podcast called Grilled, where we take you through some quick fire questions and some questions that maybe that you didn't think about, but we're ready to ask you. So are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Think you're safe coming on the podcast? Think again.
Grilled exposes the cracks in our guest's defence.
Football knowledge or football porridge?
Time to get grilled.
So we want quick fire, okay? Okay. Thierry Henry or Kylian Mbappe?
Mbappe.
Ooh, why do you think that?
Because I really like Thierry Henry as a player. You know, he's been magnificent. But I think the maturity of Kylian Mbappe, the way he's handling, you know, all the pressure and responsibilities, and the fact he has broken so many records already. I had a quick look yesterday. He's just 23. He has already almost 60 caps with the national team. Come on, guys.
Yeah, he's a crazy player.
It's crazy.
The record man, is Lilian Thuram. I think it's 126 caps. He's already have half of it.
Wow.
23 years old, and he has broken so many records already. So this guy is a rocket. He has no time to be on the side. You know, he wants to go straight. You know.
Do you think he would have got in your 98 World Cup winning side?
Yes,
Wow.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, you had your partner Vieira, and obviously 2018, Kante was very successful. Would you have rather played maybe with him or Vieira?
I love them both. Guys. I would love to take them both, you know, because last week on a TV show in England, they asked me what was my first 11 French players in the English history football. And I put Patrick and Kante with Makelele in the midfield.
Wow.
Yeah, because I love both them, but if I have to make a choice, obviously it would be Patrick, because I'm pretty sure I would be friends with N'Golo Kante if we were teammates, because he's so humble. I love him. Honestly, I love him. I love that guy.
Very unique
But
player.
I love Patrick too because we are like brothers together. So as simple as that.
100%. If you could have one player for this particular World Cup from another country to play for France.
Easy.
Who would it be?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
We
We need the midfield players, guys. We need master in the midfield.
Yes,
we don't
it's
have
true.
Pogba and Kante anymore, so we need proper guy, you know. And for me, Kevin De Bruyne, there.
100%.
He speaks French, so
Yeah, it
It
helps
works.
as well.
French passport.
It helps. We were just going to say as well. So after you left Arsenal, you obviously went to Barcelona. So
Yeah.
we wanted to ask like a cheeky question. So you obviously saw Xavi playing for Barcelona when he was very young.
Yes.
Did he learn from you?
Come on.
Taught him everything he knows.
Xavi was one of the best in his position in football history. So this guy was a magician. Tactically, he was so clever, you know, as well, and technically, he was so skillful. So he has nothing to learn from.
No,
Was it
come
quite
on.
clear to
He
see?
may be the opposite, to be honest with you.
No, come on.
No,
you
you're
were a great
underselling
player.
yourself.
He was
Come
such a
on.
great player, honestly. What a joy to watch him and to play with him.
So coming back to the campaign quickly, where is the weirdest place that you've checked the football score?
You don't want to know? You don't want to know?
Okay, we move on.
If I tell you,
Say no more.
he has to be in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Okay. We were also gonna ask, like, what is the best game that you've missed? So one game that you were so excited to watch. Like for me, because I'm an Arsenal fan, it was the 2006 Champions League final.
Oh.
But I went to sleep and I missed the game, so I don't know. Well, I didn't know what happened.
You went to sleep.
I went to sleep. I don't know what happened. I was sick.
Stop smoking.
I was a kid. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But for you,
Me, I remember when I was in Barcelona, because I left Arsenal a year ago. Before that, I was still linked with Arsenal, with my old teammates, and I felt sometimes miserable to leave the club. And I remember they played FA Cup final against Liverpool. I think they lost it. I think Owen scored during that game. And I couldn't watch the game because we had a game with Barcelona.
Oh.
And I was so annoyed about it. I wanted to see Arsenal playing the FA Cup final. And I had to record it. And I said to people around me, don't tell me the score.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do you think Arsenal can win the Premier League this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
I love that, Emmanuel. Big Chelsea fan.
I'm wrong, but I think it's too soon. I think City are still ahead of Arsenal, and there's still a gap between the two clubs. When you look at the squad that won the Premier League last season, they had Haaland on top of it, and this guy is a cyborg. He's a match winner. It's something that was missing at City. And if you took just one example, last weekend when they won 2-1, they were playing 10 against 11, and they controlled the game. They still control the game. So I'm thinking, those guys, they never lose their DNA, their identity. So I'm very pleased the way Arsenal has improved collectively and individually. But I think it's still too soon. They will be qualified for the Champions League. I'm pretty sure about that. I think, but don't remember where Arsenal were, a couple of years ago. So it was a long way to go, and they are not so far now from City. So they need to be working very well on the next transfer window because they need to add more quality. Because for me, the main difference as well with City is the depth of bench on the bench. The quality, the player you can change, the turnover, especially in this season when you have to play every 3 days and you have so many injured players. And I heard what Conte said this morning is about Kane. He's very, very tired. So I can imagine when you don't have options on the bench, if you only rely on your first 11 players or maybe 14 or 15 players, that would be short because the demands physically and mentally on the Premier League is very high, and you put the World Cup in the middle, so you need players, a deep squad, with quality players, and this is for me the two reasons why Arsenal actually are not on the same level that City.
Okay.
Someone who also played for Arsenal and Chelsea like yourself is Olivier Giroud, and obviously with this World Cup, you forgot Benzema who's just won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would you pick there out of Benzema?
And we need a quick fire answer.
Benzema.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Giroud as well. I'm always took defense. The last few seasons, I said this guy is doing everything he can on the pitch. He's got a great mentality, a great mental, and he never makes troubles outside football as well in his private life. He don't have a big ego as well, and every time you try to show him the exit door, he always come back through the window. He show resilience all the time, and on top of it, he score goals. And for me, that's normal. And I was very happy he was on the list yesterday. But if I have to choose between the two players, I would take Benzema. Yeah.
Okay, so you obviously.
How can you be at Real Madrid for more than 10 years, playing every single games, becoming the skipper, winning the Ballon d'Or at 34 years old? Come on, guys. This is Real Madrid.
Yes.
If you miss one game at Real Madrid, you're on the bench.
Yeah, well, there were both players that were quite underrated throughout their career, I suppose. Who would you say is maybe the most underrated player you played with?
Well, it's hard to answer this question. I would say probably Sylvain Wiltord.
Okay.
Because this guy has almost 100 caps with the national team. He has won many medals. And he reminds me Mane at Liverpool, the way he played. And he was so important, just like Mane with Liverpool, the way he plays, his movement, his relationship, with his teammates, and physically and mentally, this guy is a warrior. And on top of it, he gives assist and score goals. And I think Sylvain Wiltord got some similarities with Mane, in his game.
Cup.
Yes,
Ben.
yes, Manu.
Oh,
So closing
a
off,
pleasure.
You want?
we want to
You
see
want
the World
World
Cup.
Cup?
Yeah, we want to see
Yes,
it.
please.
Well done.
Yeah, it's something big for
For
us because
sure.
My
in England,
brother just World Cup, you know. So
yes.
There's not many English players that have one.
and
Thank
just
you, guys.
and just quickly, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Full stop.
Brazil.
Brazil. There we go.
Look at that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Manu, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much
And,
for your time.
I don't know if you have.
Wow.
There is
Great.
my name.
Wow.
Love that.
So
It's amazing. It's
hey,
amazing.
okay. You don't go. Huh?
Manu, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so
guys.
Thank you
much.
very much.
You take
Thank you
care.
so much, guys.
Go on, Gunners.
Thank you. Come on, us. Take care. All right. Wow. We just interviewed Emmanuel Petit. That was
That was
crazy.
mad.
He came across really well, you know.
He did, man. He had some great answers.
I know. There were some questions like we have to say like a big shout out to Live Score as well because they allowed us to do this. Their Fear of Missing Scores campaign. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he had some interesting answers. But what is more interesting thing to talk about is Ivan Perisic actually.
Lovely.
Yeah, Ivan Perisic. I think for Spurs this year, he's gone under the radar because like obviously Spurs haven't been that good, but I think Perisic has been decent so far for Spurs.
He has, and a number of their goals do come from corners and set pieces. And I'm going to give him the Santi Cazorla treatment here, but anyone taking a set piece with both feet is it's a big plus in my book.
But like even against Liverpool, for example, on the weekend, if Ivan Perisic he was playing in a weird position. It was like just off of Harry Kane, but
Unlucky with that header, wasn't he?
yeah, and he was just in and around. He's busy, and I like players like that. I think Ivan Perisic has added a lot of quality to Spurs.
I'm glad he's in the league. He's one of those players we'd admired from afar. I mean, I know he broke hearts in 2018,
Yes,
but
it's a great
he's a
finish.
player that you always looked at, robust, can kind of play anywhere, very athletic, and you want to see players like that in the Premier League. So it's nice to see him.
Absolutely, yeah. So if we were to touch on Croatia and how they're going to do so in the World Cup, what do you think?
I think they'll get through, but it is, and it feels like an end of a cycle.
Yeah, it really does. Like
For both them and Belgium, quite similar World Cups to be honest. Maybe they won't get smashed to the same extent because I think there's more heart in that Croatia side that got to the final. But yeah, just not quite the level they were then.
yeah, 100%. But speaking of his former Bayern compatriot, we're going to chat about Canada, Alphonso Davies. Now, Canada for this World Cup, like some people are calling them the dark horse, but I just don't really think they have the quality of other teams.
I agree. I think that dark horse name comes from we really like Davies and we really like David, and there's not a lot else, is there?
Yeah, they've got a couple players, but like Atiba Hutchinson, he's still playing at the age of 39 for Besiktas.
They should have snapped up Tomori, man.
Yes, they could.
Get in his ear. Yeah.
I know they could have. But yeah, I think if we speak about Canada, look, I think no disrespect to my Canadians, it's their first World Cup in God knows how long, in a very, very long time. So, and obviously because they made it to the World Cup, we need to respect every single team. But like we spoke about Australia, like we spoke about some other teams, I just don't think they have the quality to challenge some other teams as well. And I think, yeah, like solely relying on Davies and David, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan David, he's having a great start to the season with Lille so far. 9 goals, 3 assists. Alphonso Davies is also having a good year as well. So I just feel that...
I love watching Davies.
Exactly.
He's just rapid. Like the way he bombs down up and down the wing is just a phenomenal player to watch when he's in full top
flight.
form. Yeah. Against in that Barca game, actually.
Yes.
He looked like his 2020 self.
Yes, he did. But the only problem was that he is coming back from an injury. And obviously hamstring injuries. He's a player that has suffered from a lot of injuries so far in his career. But, you know... for Alphonso Davies, he has an impeccable record for Canada. I think he has 12 goals and
Plays a lot
16
higher up,
assists.
doesn't he?
Yeah, sometimes he plays at striker, sometimes he plays at left wing, right wing, wherever. Like that's how he came through at playing for, I think, Vancouver. So I think Alphonso Davies is a player that could do really well in this tournament, but the collective Canadian efforts...
Yeah, it's not on the same level of quality as some of those other teams, is it?
Absolutely. Their backup goalkeeper as well, I think his name is Maxime Crepeau. He was playing for LAFC on the weekend.
Okay. They had some finals, didn't they?
But the craziest thing is, did you know anything about what happened?
No, I saw bits and pieces. Obviously, I saw Bale getting his equaliser. I did flick it on actually around the 83rd minute when it was 1-1. It went 2-1. A minute later, it was 2-2.
It's mad. But yeah, Maxime Crepeau, that guy. So I think Philadelphia, they had a 1-on-1 and Maxime Crepeau tried to go and save it, but he ended up breaking his leg trying to meet an onrushing attacker.
That is It's almost impressive.
It's unbelievable, but it's sad for him because
Of course.
he's going to be missing the World Cup for Canada. And he would have absolutely gone on the plane. Maybe he wouldn't have been a starter, as some Canadian fans have told me. But yeah, it's sad. Like in general, a lot of these injuries are happening to players just before the World Cup, and yeah, man, it's really sad.
Oh mate, no, the World Cups. It takes away from the World Cup. We're losing these players. Obviously, Mane's had a threat to his World Cup. It sounds like it might just be a race against the clock that he might win, but it sucks. That's the reality of things. It really sucks seeing these players miss out.
100%. Yeah, Canada in this group. Do you think they could do something?
They can do something. I don't think they'll do much though. I think it might be bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
Because with Morocco, they've had a bit of a tumultuous time, haven't they? They've got a new manager in as of 2 or 3 months before the World Cup, but that might give them a lift. New manager syndrome is a thing.
Yeah, I think there was a problem with the old manager in the Morocco.
Ziyech was retired from international football, but he's back now.
Like, nah, I'm not playing under this manager. Yeah. But now this manager's gone. Hakim Ziyech is like, hey, I'm back. But they've also got other players as well,
Definitely.
like Hakimi. But a striker that people don't really speak about is Yusuf En-Nesyri.
Yeah, their all-time goal scorer.
Yes, I think En-Nesyri is a great player. I think he's very tall, very wiry, but he's so good in the air. He could hold up the ball. He could go in behind. He could run the channels. I liken him to someone like Ivan Toney, for example. Ivan Toney is a lot more force and power about him, but El-Nesyri can still damage teams a lot.
Yeah.
And they've got a player doing impeccably well for QPR right now.
All right.
Do you know his name?
I'm not familiar.
No, Ilyas Chair.
Okay.
Or Ilyas Shahid in Arabic. He's a player that is playing really well for QPR. I know my Rangers fans, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
I just saw that whole scandal with the QPR woman kissing some 18-year-old boy or whatever. Have you not seen all this on Twitter?
Not seen
Okay, it was quite funny. It was some guy tweeted out going, if anyone saw my wife with an 18-year-old QPR fan, please let me.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it was a big kissing gate.
I saw that. Oh yeah, that's a funny one. But yeah, Ilyas Chair is doing well for QPR.
I don't think it was him at least.
No, it wasn't. And they've got a few other players like
Roman Saiz. He wasn't a bad defender at Wolves.
Exactly. Bono from Sevilla and QPR legend. Streets won't forget legend.
Tarat.
Adel Taarabt.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the.
Is he still at Benfica?
No, he's playing in the UAE right now.
Okay.
He just left. But yeah, that is one of the.
That is a Streets won't forget player. If he didn't.
I think Adel Taarabt, watching him, he was everyone from inner London loved Adel Taarabt. He was the cage baller. Everyone growing up, we all played in the cages. We all had to do a couple skills, a couple tricks. And I love watching players like that because they make football more free. They make football more fun. And when we remember football when we were like kids, especially us in London, because that's how we played football, or all over the world, Adel Taarabt is going to be that guy. And we're like, oh my God, like he'll always have street credibility, he's always have street.
He's in that Ben Arthur category, isn't he? Taarabt just had the amount of skill he'd pull out. There's so many clips, like you said, in his QPR days, even his Spurs days, little drags and nutmegs. He was a fantastic player, like you said, that brought a lot of joy to football because they're rare. You don't get that many entertainers.
Absolutely, and I just feel that. Look, Adel Taarabt, he's matured, so obviously he's playing deeper now. But look, this might be his last World Cup, so it's going to be like it's a last World Cup for a lot of players. But look, Morocco, they're here to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, like you touched on with Hakimi. Hakimi's a top player. In that wing-back system. I saw him scoring free kicks in the AFCON, so he's very versatile player.
Yeah, even your boy Hakim Ziyech would even speak about.
Can be good. On his day, he's an on-his-day player, and like you said with the striker, he's got that link up where Hakim Ziyech, he's a bit of a one-trick pony in my eyes, but he does have that sort of whip
one
to the back
trick
post.
is amazing.
It can be a great trick, and he's made a very good career off of a pass that was shot at a fantastic angle at Ajax.
With the Taliafico.
Mate, I'm still seeing people use propaganda to promote Ziyech being in our team based off a pass against Ajax 4 or 5 years ago. It's pretty crazy. But he's a good player.
But yeah, if we were to completely wrap up, like in terms of how we think the group is going to be, like from 1 to 4, who do you think it is?
I'm going Belgium 1, Croatia 2, Morocco 3, Canada 4.
I agree with that.
I agree. What's your 20-second vision for that group? This is the part where we predict a fixture's future with the imagination of De Bruyne and the precision of Heskey.
What will the future hold with 20-second vision? All right, Toby, you have 20 seconds to predict Croatia's future. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so they're going to be playing Belgium. Kovacic scores a goal, much like his goal against Liverpool, that volley. If you saw recently, there was a bit of a weird clip. He was sort of stripped down in his pants, running around Stamford Bridge. He's taking it a step further. The pants come off. He's windmilling. And then the fans, they don't know what to make of it. Bar one, there's one fan looking at his OnlyFans. Kovacic has used the World Cup to promote his brand new OnlyFans. There you go. I don't know if it will help Croatia very much, but it's excellent marketing from Kovacic.
Do you don't think he's just going to get like deported from the country for doing that?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if it will go down very well, but
Okay.
yeah, I feel like it was a bit of a preview the other week.
Okay.
I think it's coming in the post.
Okay, I think I got 20 seconds on Lukaku.
Okay, 20 seconds on Lukaku. Your time starts now.
Romelu Lukaku is going to be impeccable for Belgium this tournament. I think he's in and out of the team at Inter, but for Belgium, he's their national top scorer of all time. And Lukaku, when he steps in and puts on that Belgium shirt, he is a different player. Lukaku is going to score at least 4 goals in this tournament and take Belgium to the promised land of the quarterfinals. Nothing more than that.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Nicely done. Well, if Rom's having a good tournament, it might boost his price for us.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
Take that, man. I'll take that.
Exactly. But yeah, that's us wrapping up the show. We labeled 1 to 4 Group F. If you disagree, if you agree, let us know down below in the comments. The TikToks are doing impeccably well right now.
You're smashing it, guys.
Yes, I think we need to speak about a country and then those people from that country get onto us.
It's the niche ones that are doing the trick.
I know. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. As Toby says, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss an upload from us at the Rimedi.
I've been Toby.
And we'll catch you next Monday for a brand new podcast. Take care.
In a bit.
My God, we interviewed our first footballer.
It's mad, mate.
I know.
It's mad. First time ever
Great,
speaking to a footballer properly.
Man. Here's to many
Top
more.
bloke as well.
Yeah, Emmanuel Petit is fun.
Yeah, the first of many.
I know.